Hi, you're watching Image Preparation for Engraving series from imagemart.com. This video is titled Do Not Approach Image Preparation with Paper Paradigm, and it's just about that. We used to work with materials and media that is naturally white. Paper is naturally white. When we work with computer screen, it has a naturally white background in most cases with black letters or images on top of the white black background. That's why a lot of people, when they start engraving on a material that is totally different, like stone, which is naturally black, they approach it with paper paradigm. And what do I mean by that is that, for example, a lot of people, from some reason which totally escapes my understanding, prefer to create white background in their engraving. And that looks ridiculous. On the black stone, that massive white background actually distracts you from perceiving whatever it is that you engrave. I'm going to show you some photographs of some engravings I found on the internet. I don't even know who did them. So if it's yours, then I'm sorry. So I wanted to show this, for example, right? I mean, somebody engraved the cat, kept white background. It looks ugly. You don't see much here. And it looks like a poor attempt to transfer the regular photograph to the stone without understanding what the stone actually is capable of doing, capable of displaying. Another example here, again, somebody engraved a dog, kept white background from some reason. White background is the first thing that actually catches your eye, and only then do you start recognizing that there seems to be a dark spot that appears to be like a dog in the middle of that white rectangle. So again, no need to keep the white background. If the object you engrave has black areas, obviously you should create a halo that will highlight the outside area, and the object itself need to be brightened. There's nothing wrong about brightening the darker objects before engraving them, because the stone is black. It will look pretty dark once you engraved it. It's a common misconception that the darker areas, be it, for example, people with darker skin tones, cannot be brightened quite a lot and engraved them, because if you don't brighten the darker skin tones, you will not see them at all. You will not see those facial features on the stone. But I digress. So coming back to the halos. Okay, now assume I convinced you to not do the white background, get rid of it. It doesn't have any useful features, but instead you created a halo. Halo should also not distract you from perceiving the human face. This is, to me, what I'm showing on my screen right now, is another example of kind of halo / white flat fill where it's absolutely unnecessary. If you want to show the human face, highlight should be on the human face, not on the bright area that surrounds it. Continuing to, again, the idea of understanding the material you work with and not approaching it as paper is you should understand that whenever you engrave, for example, a portrait on a black granite, and a person might have, well, I don't have hair, but what if the person has black hair? Or a person can have a black t-shirt. Unless you brighten the hair, unless you highlight the strands, and for the hair you also need to add non-invasive halo, the one that's not too bright, and unless you brighten the t-shirt or short or suit, it will look like a face hanging in the dark, hanging in black. Sometimes face even without hair. So here's another example, very typical one, again, found on the internet. I have no clue who did this engraving. Person, face, hanging in the air. The jacket, well, luckily somebody created a little bit of an outline, but it's barely visible what kind of jacket is the person wearing. So whenever there's any darker areas that you need to engrave, if you want those darker areas to be visible, you need to brighten them. So just to kind of finish with another common misconception, which I wanted to cover, I touched on it already. Whenever you engrave faces with darker skin tones, it's okay to brighten them a little bit. It's okay to highlight the facial features so that they are visible. If the person has black hair, but you can see the strands of hair, it's okay to highlight those strands of hair so that at least you can see them on the granite. Unless you do that, it will all be black, it will not be engraved at all, and all you will see, I don't know, are eye whites in the dark. So that's quite a shorter video, but just to reiterate, the whole idea is, since you do not work with paper, you need to understand the limitation of material you work with, and do not approach engraving on granite or other non-paper type of material as working with paper. It will not work. You need to change your paradigm. I hope you find this content useful. If you do, please like and subscribe so that you can be notified when we release new videos. Thank you very much for watching. See you in video number 5, where we will talk about why proper cropping is super important in image preparation for engraving. Thank you.